Hello, my name's Jen. I work for Changes Bristol. So I'm here today at Boiling Wells, which is part of St Werburgh City Farm, and they've kindly allowed us to use the space to create a nature labyrinth. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So labyrinths are a form that's been found across cultures around the world and throughout history, and they're basically the way that I would use them as a tool for kind of contemplation and meditation, and for kind of entering a state of calmness. So they're really good for promoting well-being, especially if you do them outside. But yes, what I'm going to show you today is how to make your own nature labyrinth. So if you look at it when it's finished, it looks a bit confusing and probably a little bit tricky, but they're actually really easy to make. So there's loads of different ways that you can make a labyrinth, but you do need some materials. So you could use flour, you could use sand, you could use flowers, but what I'm going to use today is a mixture of it's leaf mulch that is actually already rotted down quite a lot. So I'll show you here. So it's lovely, getting on its way to a nice rich compost. So that's what I'm going to use today. So it's really useful but not essential to have some kind of measuring stick. You want to make sure, if you're making one on the ground, that it's going to be wide enough for people to walk through. So yeah, this looks wide enough. I might even make it a little bit shorter. So the first thing that we've got to do, so I'm going to be making a classical labyrinth, is make the basic form, which is a cross. And pretty much all labyrinths start with a cross. So that's the first bit. So this is the basic skeleton of a labyrinth. So that's the cross. So yeah, so you want to make sure that you've got the right size. So I'm going to do it the length of the stick, and that's going to be the width that's wide enough for people to walk through. So, and then once you've got the cross formed, you are then going to put a handful, like a little dot, and it'll be like the corner of the square around the cross. So here we go, this is the basic structure. Now comes the fun part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start joining all of these sections together. So I'm going to use this as a marker, and what I want to do is I'm joining this top part of the cross to the first dot. So I'm going to come around. So there's the first bit. Then I'm going to come back on myself, and I'm going to go to this dot. So that is the labyrinth finished and pretty much ready to walk, but what I want to do first is just go around and just neaten it up. So I'm just going to fill in any gaps. Again, you don't have to do that. What's also a really nice practice, and especially in the, more in the summer, is you can go and you could pick up some flowers and you can just decorate it. I've made them before, and it's been a kind of collaborative art piece, and everyone's come and brought different bits of nature. But you can really use anything. You can use household objects, whatever you like. So the thing with labyrinths as well is, so they're a metaphor for the kind of inward-outward journey of contemplation. And obviously, if you're someone that's struggling with mental health challenges, as I have, it's really good as a way of because you're already quite introspective. So you can really use the labyrinth as a tool, either for mindfulness, of just walking it really slowly, really aware of how your feet are landing, the smell. I mean, I can smell the earth from this, the sounds around you, and just be really in the present and do it really slowly. And I always say to walk a labyrinth slowly anyway. You could also use it as a tool for inquiry. So it's really interesting what can happen. A labyrinth is described as a liminal space. So you could go in with a question about something that's troubling you or challenging you, and when you get to the middle, So that's your kind of inward journey. You may find some kind of insight, you also may not, but yeah, it's incredible the kind of things that can arise when you walk this with intention. And then you can walk out like carrying the gifts of insight or wisdom that you may glean. So that's a really beautiful way that I like to do it. And as a group, it's quite nice to set a kind of group intention of a way to walk it and a group inquiry.